Welcome to the Men of Foreigner podcast. My name is Corey, your host, and today we're going to be talking about some business. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. And really, in terms of business, my thing is definitely marketing. It's a place where I love to geek out on and just deep dive. And the last time I spoke about business, I was talking about why I was publishing, and the reason why you publish is because you want to create your market. And by creating your market, I think I have to define what a market is. And this is a definition I learned from Stephen Larson. And he said a market is a place where you have buyers and sellers. And this is key because a lot of times when we say the market, we just assume it's a thing that is out there that determines whether you you sell or not. And really, it's not. It's the market is something that you go to and figure out. In terms of if you're somebody who's selling, you figure out who your customer is, and then you go there and then you sell. So you have to position yourself within the market in order to sell. Sort of, if that makes sense. So basically, I spoke about publishing and why publishing is important, and I give you some examples like Justin Bieber and everything else. And the reason why I'm talking about this really is yesterday I took my kid to the zoo. There's a place where we go. It's called Paradise Wildlife Park, and while we were there, a gentleman was walking and my kid just was starstruck. He goes, "Oh, there's the man from the TV," and instantly my wife started saying, that's the man that we've been seeing, these three brothers that have run this zoo, and basically they inherited it from their grandfather. And when grandfather bought the place, the land, he wanted to apparently he wanted to just park his trucks and buses over there, but the land came with a lion in the cage. So they just had one lion and the cage, and then over a period of time they started getting more and more animals, and then it's just turned out to be a zoo / fun kids play place. So basically that was never the intention to make it into a zoo. It was just by coincidence that it happened. So the fact that I'm saying this is because that's the story that we're giving out on a media. So they went to, I think it's CBBS that they showed this program, and really what they were doing was talking about their day-to-day things that they do within the zoo and the park. And they covered different animals, their history, their personality. And this is exactly what I was talking about, that you when it comes to publishing, it's always difficult to figure out what's important to publish. And as Gary Vee said, you don't create, you have to document. So basically, they were just documenting the day in the life of Paradise Wildlife Park, and by doing that, they started creating a market. Now, the thing that was quite interesting is that I've been there several times. I've never seen it so busy. I mean, it was literally queuing all the way in the car park, and when you go inside, there was so many people everywhere. And when we tried to get lunch, we're literally queuing for a long period of time. Going to show that I've never seen them make that much sales in a long time. I mean, literally before we used to just walk straight through without having to queue. And this goes to show the power of publishing and creating a market. And they have created a market. In fact, they already had a market, but really they amplified their sales by publishing. And this is it's almost the most understated thing when it comes to business, that you have to be able to create your market. We tend to try and position ourselves in the market, like I said, and the best way to position yourself within a market, which is, in this case, I think they were targeting children because of the media that they were using and the channels that they were using. It was to get the interest of the children so they can get excited about animals again. And to be honest with you, I think some of the people that were there had already been to other zoos before. They'd already seen some of that stuff before in different places. But it's the fact that they got a connection between them and the owners through that show. They felt compelled to actually go and experience it in a different way, because they're connected to them. And it's not just the kids, but the adults as well. So the fact that my wife could tell me the whole entire story tells me that she was taking it all in, and she was interested, and she knew stuff about the farm that I didn't know, about the park that I didn't know before. And I felt quite connected with them as well. So it was such an incredible experience and such an example. And, the thing that I found annoying and I regretted was the fact that I usually record this podcast on my phone. It's just a simple click on an app and then I'm recording. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? I did speak to him. I should have just clicked and recorded and just got a 5-minute podcast episode with him. And I was like, from now on, this is what I need to do. Just every time I see somebody that is interesting and that is in line with the things that I'm talking about, I'm just going to click record and then record straight away and not really care where I am and stuff like that. And I think it was a missed opportunity, but I'm sure I am going to go back there and I'm going to give it another go and speak to him and just see if I can just get more information on, what the program has done in order to amplify the sales, because I think that will be quite an interesting take on it, because I'm just assuming that was the case, or because it could be a factor that it's just with all the restrictions, that was the only place that was open, so maybe that was the only option for parents to take their children. But I assume, and this is I'm pretty sure the program is what's been amplifying the sales for this park. So I thought that was quite interesting. And for those people that are got their business and they are sort of guessing where the customer base is and they're not really sure, you're making a little bit of money, but you want to take it up to the next level, you need to be publishing. And we talked about that you need to be either podcasting, you need to be blogging, or YouTube, or at least doing something with video, something video, something either writing or just or podcasting. So, and this is just the times that we're living in. We're just replacing radio with podcasting. We're replacing print, like newspapers and stuff like that, with blogging, and then we're now replacing television with YouTube, Facebook Lives, and Instagram Lives, and that's what we're doing. And by doing that, we are creating the market. And the other word you could use for this is distribution channel. So you get your information out. By getting your information out, you're creating a distribution channel. So as you get your products and services, then you can distribute your product and services to the people that are listening to your information, because the information is important for them to at least know about you, know the problem that you're solving. At the same time, when they discover the fact that you know the problem that you're solving, they get connected with you. They assume you're the one with the answer for the problem that they have, and by that, then it leads you to the point where you can now just provide to yourself. And again, the other thing is that it's because you're educating them. You are negating price. Even if you see some of the like Ferrari, they don't have to educate anybody about the car to sell a Ferrari. Usually the person who wants to buy a Ferrari has had enough information or has read about the information. There's some information out there for him to actually understand what he's buying without having to. So the price becomes irrelevant. I think if you are your business is in a place where you're competing versus a lot of people in your market or in your niche, and you want to stand out, the one thing that will make you stand out is publishing and communicating with your people. And like I said, documenting your journey. What are you learning about the business? What is it that you're trying to solve? How are you trying to solve it? You're not trying to make yourself better than everybody else. You're just communicating and trying to figure out what is resonating with the customer as well. So it's absolutely amazing, because when we went to this, they'd opened a new enclosure for the tigers, and everybody was excited about it. And they documented about the thing that they were doing with the tigers, and they'd put a pond in there. And, people were curious. Won't the tigers eat the fish? But no, tigers don't, as I was explaining to my daughter yesterday, that tigers don't like to go into the water, and they do not fish. They're not like bears. But they would eat fish if it was given to them, but they will not actively go and hunt. So that's the reason why they've got a pond within the tiger enclosure. So that was pretty interesting. And one other thing as well is that I've been chasing this dream of making money. And before, like I said, it was superficial before. Like, I wanted to make money so everybody can respect me and stuff like that. But over time, it's evolved into something where I really want to reach out and change the world. And one of the things that I discovered was that there are some children out there that cannot experience this. And I was thinking to myself, how amazing would it be if you could get a group of children that have never been to a zoo, they've never been to a farm, and just book out the whole place for a weekend or a Saturday, and just get different things so they can experience something in a different way. Because we're laughing because my daughter, she's been there quite a few times, so she just skims through it. First time when she was there, she was mesmerized by everything, but now she just sort of skims through it because she's used to it. But I was thinking, that's an experience that another child would value. I mean, for her, she enjoys seeing the animals. She enjoys see these specific animals that now she actually enjoys seeing. And then there's some, like yesterday, I think for me, the one I didn't enjoy seeing was the python and the anaconda. Oh, it made my skin crawl. Oh, but again, the amazing part about it was the fact that she got to see one of the people that was presenting on the show, and she was really excited about that. And it just showed the power of publishing, and it just clicked in my head. I was like, wow, that's amazing, the power of publishing. And if you're not publishing, you're just throwing money on the table, and there's no need for you to be competing with anybody else. In this space, I've been doing market research in terms of men's support groups and male development or self-development type things. I've been looking at my competition. There's only 2 other guys that are publishing as much as I am. And one of them is actually amazing. The other one is pretty good, but is, probably on the same place, because even on his... there wasn't a lot of reviews on his podcasting, and he doesn't have a place where he's sending people. So I think we're probably on the same level. But the guys that we're going after there, I mean, they've been publishing for quite a long time. In fact, I think the other guy has been 7 years in the game. The biggest and the category king of this is a man called Gareth J. White, and he's quite massive. But other than them, there's nobody else doing this consistently speaking. And with time, as more followers come within our space, as we solve their problems, then we've got an opportunity to actually make a difference in people's lives. And that's exactly what we're doing. And we can only do it if we continue publishing and creating that link between, us and solving problems. So thank you very much for listening. I just sort of try to say one point, and then just sort of ended up dragging it out. I don't know how I managed to drag that out into 40 minutes, but thank you very much for listening. And hopefully, if you've got any questions, guys, about publishing and things that you might want to, just a bit of coaching regarding publishing, guys, get in touch. The Men of Honor Facebook group. Just join. Once you join, ask the question about publishing, or at least let us know that you've come from this podcast and you want to know more about publishing, and then we can start the discussion over there, so we can give you more ideas on how to improve your business and get yourself that distribution channel, or create your market, is looking for a better term. So thank you very much for listening. And if you've got any other question that is private, that's to do with your love life or whatever else, you can contact me on my Instagram. It's Kuri Mahamba. I'll write it in the description so you can copy and paste and do your thing. So thank you very much, and I'll be seeing you soon.